let's get to the big one. Moline at UT, Friday night. Both of you will be on the call for your individual teams.
That we will be.
Where do you want to go first with this matchup?
Well, I'll leave the floor. I'll leave the floor to you. What are you feeling? What's the angle you're looking at the most?
Well, we're going to be at the back of the Panther Den. That's going to be exciting. It's Moline. It's UT. That's going to be exciting. I was crunching the numbers a couple days ago. Over the last 6 matchups, over the course of the last 2 seasons, 4 of the 6 games have been decided by 10 or fewer points. And then within those 6 games, decided by an average of 9 points. And then you throw in an overtime game in there, a couple close regional games. It's been a really fun couple of years in this matchup. But for UT, going back a little bit further, there's been a sour taste playing Moline. They've lost 13 of their last 14 games against the Maroons. They got the win at Wharton Fieldhouse last year. They've gotten knocked out by the Maroons over the last 2 seasons in the regionals. So that sets up a lot at stake for UT, trying to get that 3rd win of the season, trying to get that first conference win. They know that they have the team to definitely beat Moline this year. So they're going to be fired up heading in. And you look at what they did last week. We talked about earlier those 12 players getting in, those 10 guys scoring. That's something that they have more than Moline is that top to bottom lineup. They'll be able to throw in Octavius Hickman, Joseph Moore, the 2 big guys at once, which against a Moline team that isn't overly sized, I think it could favor them in a big way. And then maybe if Moline goes to a zone or tries to figure that out, they got plenty of guys that can shoot it on the perimeter. So I think UT's game fits well with what Moline might try and throw at them. And I think they have a great chance to win on Friday.
Yeah, we talk about superpowers, like what makes you good, right? UT's is they have a depth that is better than anybody in the conference just because of how many guys that they feel like are worthy of being able to get to log big time minutes, right? Now, sometimes that can be a good thing. Sometimes it can be a bad thing because you're like, all right, well, which guy's going to be the one that I can count on to be the go-to guy on a given night? They're hoping it's obviously Octavius Hickman. He was great in those first 2 games. Now, sometimes there's ups and downs with whether or not he's their leading scorer or not. Last year, Josiah Massey had a fantastic season. I think those are obviously the 2 that you want to count on. And interestingly enough, Coach Say he has these different kind of strings that he can pull for what he wants to start with, and he kind of put them all together to start the season, playing Joseph Morrow and Octavius Hickman, their 2 centers at the same time in the starting lineup, and then playing Leo Sim and Tyler Horvath with Josiah Massey as the swingman. So both point guards and both bigs, we're going to start them both, and let's kind of figure out what we can do. Their defense, I think, is what's going to carry. I think just when you look at what they can provide, I think their half-court defense is probably the best in the conference. I know obviously Rocky can do some stuff. I think eventually Moline will be able to do some stuff as well as they get settled in. But I think when you just sit down and you look at guy for guy who can guard, I think UT's got the best. So for this Moline team that's still figuring some things out, that's what I'm interested to see is when Moline's got the ball, how do they provide offense? And another nugget, talking about all of these tight games from UT and Moline over the last handful of years, they have been. Since Andy Say got to Moline, UT's really closed that gap. However, this is a fascinating note. Yes, they won at Wharton, and that was the first time that they beat Moline since 2017, but they have not beat Moline. Moline has gone to UT, and they have not, I think the number is 12 for 2 postseason games. 12 straight, I believe. It's 11 or 12 straight, but they have not won a regular season game at home against the Maroons since 2015.
Wow.
So, and there have been some pretty big important games there at home that they had a chance to win that they were unable to do so. So just that being a stat alone is fascinating. So it's a fascinating thing when you just look at it from the UT side.
We will use that stat for the highlights on Friday night. Should be a fun night of games, the first night of conference play. Enjoy the games, everybody.